Back on SportsBit, time for the deep dive. NFL, Brady didn't play. Not because of a Belichick decision. He was supposed to play. Sliced his right thumb with a pair of scissors before the game, cleaning his cleats. Tom, they got people that can do that for you.
Yeah, but I like the fact that Brady cleans his own cleats.
No.
And I think if this is a regular season game, he might have played. But, he was expected to start against the Bears. He didn't play at all in that preseason opener against New Orleans. Now, when he didn't take the field for warm-ups and was seen leaving the stadium in regular clothes, it was clear that something was amiss for Brady. But, it's not known whether the cut required stitches or how long it's going to keep him out. But one has to think now there's a little bit of pressure for New England to get him some playing time in Week 3 or Week 4. Week 4 of the preseason tends to be a throwaway game for most teams. Might not be for New England this year, especially if Brady still has that finger injury next week. I thought Garoppolo looked real good again in week number 2 of the preseason, and I think that New England may be an undervalued commodity with Brady off the field. But when it comes to the preseason, this guy's got to get some playing time. He needs something before sitting out those first 4 games of the regular season.
They'll beat Arizona on the road Week 1 Sunday night with Garoppolo. All right. Good move by Kubiak here. Simeon will start Saturday in the second preseason game with the Broncos. This competition's real.
Yeah, and again, we love the backup competitions a little bit more than we love the starting competitions.
Yes.
But it is worth noting, I don't think either quarterback separated themselves in any real way last week in that win over the Bears. Denver's offense was plodding and pedestrian in that ballgame. Let's just put it that way. But here's a situation where each of the 2 quarterbacks, they're not just getting a quarter, they're going to get a quarter and a half. So you're going to see Denver with guys who will be getting playing time once the regular season starts. They're going to be on the field throughout the third quarter of a preseason game here. And you wonder, could Simeon become the fan favorite? Sanchez is going to be the guy. But you wonder if the home crowd starts rooting for him, if that's going to influence the decision-making later. I don't think that it will, but it could.
The Saints started the week by losing first-round rookie defensive tackle Sheldon Rankins for the season, most likely, and they couldn't afford to have any more bad news. Well, that's exactly what happened with a bad practice day against the Texans.
Oh, it wasn't bad. It was a really bad day. Okay, the cornerback, Delvin Breaux, he limped off the field and was carted off after pulling up while covering DeAndre Hopkins in a joint practice. Then the right tackle, Zach Strief, went down. And the cornerback, P.J. Williams, went down. And, of course, cornerback Keenan Lewis has already been hurt. All of a sudden, this team's really short on cornerbacks when it comes to cluster injuries for a preseason game. And you don't necessarily want to be betting on a team that has cluster injuries at cornerback at any point in the preseason. It might be worse. Now, it was a very hot day in Houston, and there were perhaps heat-related issues as a contributing factor in some of those injury concerns. But I really wonder if the Saints are looking just to survive this preseason game with the Texans on Saturday without incurring any further damage, or if they're really going to come out and try to beat them. It seems to me a little bit more of the former than the latter.
Okay, now what in the world's going on here? Kaepernick has been ruled out Saturday for the 49ers. They take on Denver. How do you have a dead arm this early into the season? This is ridiculous. Chip thinks he'll play week 3. I don't know what the hell's going on.
Well, what's going on is that Kaepernick's losing money, man. This is the guy who signed that big fat extension and who took his team to the Super Bowl and was one play away from winning a Super Bowl title. And in a matter of 2 or 3 years, he's, played himself onto the bench. Dead arm, I can't tell you what the medical term for a dead arm is. I do know this, the quote from Chip Kelly. They're easing him back into the throwing right now. He'll throw a little bit more today, see how he feels, and continue to progress him. And hopefully we can get him back full next week, looking less and less likely that Colin Kaepernick is going to be the starting quarterback for San Francisco on day 1 of the regular season.
Yeah, they wanted to trade him, and they couldn't do it because of the contract, but maybe they're just like, we don't want you here, we're not going to play you. Who knows? I wouldn't be surprised. That's a dumpster fire in San Francisco ever since they got rid of Harbaugh. Hey guys, for the full video, go to sbrpicks.com.
So we're giving you picks every day, and you're probably making your own as well. Be sure to participate in SBR's weekly Twitter Bankroll Challenge. Just post your picks on Twitter with @SBR Sports Picks and the hashtag BetSBR before 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time every day, Monday through Friday. We'll be betting your picks, and if the bankroll is positive at the end of the week, you could win the profits. Picks must be of events taking place that day and available in at least one of the major sportsbooks shown in our Best Sportsbooks page.